Hey there guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to be covering one of the Factorio updates that just came out. I pretty much never do update overview videos except for the major updates like 0.17, 0.16, 0.15, etc. But 0.17.75 just came out yesterday on the 4th, and it has a lot of really new cool stuff they mentioned in the Friday Facts. But it's actually out now that you may not have realized, or if you don't automatically update, you may not know that it's available. So what was in this update is, first off, construction robots attempt to build tiles like concrete and landfill in batches. This was showcased in a Friday Facts a little while ago. But then I would say even more importantly than that is all of the new tooltip stuff they showed off like 2 Friday Facts ago is also in here. And let me tell you, it is fantastic. So I'm going to be showing you guys that. It is an experimental release, I believe. This particular one, maybe, yeah, I believe this is an experimental one. So if you're still sticking on stable, you won't have this yet. You'll need to go make sure to get it. If you're on Steam, you can go into your betas tab under the game properties and select it if you want. I would do a backup though, as always. But let me show you these things first. So let's look at the tooltips, because that's the main thing. So both the tooltips in the crafting menu as well as actual entities that are placed have changed and have a really nice new structure for the most part. There's a few things I want to point out. So if you look here, you can already see visually it has a bit of a different look. I would say for the most part it's cleaner and just kind of blends more with the new GUI and stuff a bit better. And there's several things. So I'm going to read through these changes and we can kind of look over in-game what each of these means. So tooltips rework, they now have a new structure and look, which I just explained. Properties and tooltips have been reorganized and reworked. Common properties have been added to categories. So like when modders add mods or add items and stuff, they can like stick them into categories. If they have common properties with like other stuff, then it will kind of group it, is my understanding. Added more information to tooltips, for example, to be able to calculate steam power and nuclear ratios, which is huge. Recipe and item tooltips are now separate. Item tooltips will be shown for each product in the recipe if relevant, which I'll show you here in a second. Descriptions and total raw can be hidden using the interface settings and reorganize the interface settings menu. So yeah, in your interface settings, you can go and change, I'm not exactly sure where they actually did this, UI maybe? Tooltip, show entity tooltip on the side, so you can disable that, show mod owners, show description, show total raw in recipe tooltips. If you don't want that shown, you can uncheck this, it's on by default. And also, I do want to mention I am in my space exploration base. This is a very modded playthrough, but the reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you how this interacts with mods. And the mod hasn't, like, I haven't updated the mod since this Factorio update, so it just worked, which is fantastic. So if we look here, we can see ingredients, it shows as it always has. Crafting time, it shows underneath. I believe previously it would show the crafting time first. I kind of liked it the other way, to be honest with you. I kind of liked having the crafting time bigger and like the first thing you saw. I mean, I know that's not typically as important as ingredients, so maybe I'm just not used to this. It's still pretty easy to find, so it's not that big of a deal. And then there's your total raw craft time and ingredients. Again, you can disable that like I just showed you. But then the really nice thing is it also then has like a separate kind of section here for the actual item tooltip. So rotation speed is a new thing. It shows you the rotation speed. So you can see here like a normal inserted rotation speed is 103 degrees a second, whereas a fast one is 864. Stack is the same. They move the same speed as a fast. They just carry more, obviously. Consumes electricity, and then it shows its max consumption and minimum consumption, which is pretty awesome. And then, like, so basic stuff, if there's information that's relevant, they'll show it to you. So like a combinator, for example, it actually tells you what it does. So it performs arithmetic operations on circuit network signals. Or like a buffer chest requests specific items to be available for personal logistics and automated construction. So stuff like this, same with like assemblers, it shows you craft speed, pollution, electricity, stuff like that. There was one thing I was hovering over. Beacons transmits the effect of monsters nearby friendly entities. So it kind of tells you like what it does. If we look at like turbines here, consume steam to create electric energy, and it shows you exactly how much steam it consumes, the max temperature, max energy output and stuff, and then you can like look at the reactor and figure out constant consumption and stuff like that. So it's kind of a lot more clear now. And then the like separate item tooltip is really relevant with like military items. So if we look, say, at shields or something, you can see here not only does it show the ingredients, it says what it does, provides energy shield to protect the player. It shows all the hit points, recharge speed, what you place it in, which is super nice. Consumes equipment grid electricity, shows how much. A lot of this was shown before, but this I think is kind of a lot more organized. I really like the yellow text and icons to separate what's being said. And then also, I just really like the fact that it shows like what some of it. So like this one here, like iron plate. It shows what it's made in, and it did used to do this. But what I like is it just like automatically brings in the mod stuff without having to update the mod or change anything. So even though all the tooltips are reworked, it just works. And it does work with modded items. So this whole tab here is space exploration modded items. So if we look, say, at this guy here, landing pad, it just works and displays all the information. A payload delivery site for cargo rocket capsules. If we look at like this one, it shows you what it's made in, provides a range of mechanical processes, crushing, tearing, shearing, vibration, etc. Pollution, crafting speed. Like, this is just really nice that it just works with mods for the most part. And I think it's just really, really great here that, there's just much more information to display. It can get a little crazy, like this one. It's showing all of, like, the sub things here. So like in the products, right? In the products for this, there's solar panel, accumulator, and stuff like that. And it's actually telling you then what those do. So solar panel, accumulator, and heat shielding, it's telling you like what all that does. I don't know why it's not including the low density of rocket control units, but it's kind of interesting that that's not a thing. So the products for this, I think, is actually what goes into this, maybe. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's actually a little confusing when it gets like this big, trying to figure out what everything is. That would be one slight complaint. It can be slightly overwhelming, but overall, I really like this change. And now let's look at actual placed things. So you can see this has changed as well. So, pretty much similar information. But actually, if you actually look at it, has this always been a thing? So you're so used to like the old tooltips, you don't notice things a lot. See how there it says status item production overload? Is that a new statistic? I feel like it is. I don't feel like it used to say that, like that specific, right? Item production overload. See, like when it's back, that means it's backed up, and it's actually telling me that, which I think is fantastic. So like this one, item ingredient shortage, it's telling me that. So it's almost kind of like a bottleneck mod type thing, except, text instead of just little lights, which is, I think, really nice. It may have already done that. It's just a lot easier for me to spot now, I feel like, if it did already do that. And we're going to go look at our planet because I want to show you the concrete placing and some stuff here. So there's a lot more information displayed on particular stuff here. So for example, if we find a pipe, I had one earlier I was looking at. So this one, it actually shows you, it shows you how much is moving through this, the temperature of the liquid in this pipe, and stuff like that. And then, belt speed, it shows you when you mouse over it. A lot of this it showed already. I just feel like it's a lot more clear now than it used to be. So this is, I think, really, really cool. If we mouse over inserters here, hand stack size, it's showing you there. One complaint I had is mousing over logistics chest. They changed a little bit how it displays items in your network. You can see they used to be kind of like in their own little like tab, like square things. They're kind of or maybe they didn't, and it's just like a darker color or something. But to me, this is a lot harder to read and differentiate things. They seem to like kind of blend together a lot more than they did with the old tooltip GUI. That would be my main complaint with this. Again, maybe it will just take some getting used to, but this was kind of off-putting to me initially, looking at this and just being like, oh my god, this is so overwhelming. There's so much stuff here. But some of the really cool stuff is like trains. So like this guy, when you mouse over a train, it shows speed, of course, next stop, train kills, blah, blah, blah. But then vehicle, max speed, acceleration, power, weight is something that never used to actually be displayed on the thing. So vehicle there, you can see now very clearly, cargo wagons, 1,000. Locomotives, 2,000 weight-wise. Which, max fuel consumption, I feel like this is just really, really good information. Runs automated schedules and pulls cargo wagons. Actually gives you like information on how to use it. Like enter the train with enter and open the train menu with left mouse button. I don't think it used to show that. And stuff like that. And then if we go over to like nuclear over here, again, mousing over these, it's showing you the temperature, which I always used to show, fuel consumption, all this type of stuff. So like here, I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot clearer to see most of this information, even if some of it was displayed before. But there's definitely some new stuff here as well. Just really, really clean. I think it is a huge, huge quality of life update. Like you can just look at all these pipes and stuff. Mouse over that and very clearly see the amount of liquids that are in there. And stuff like that. I think it's really neat. So there's the new tooltip things. If we go ahead and let me see if I can. So it looks like most of this is covered. Okay, so if we go like here, let me go ahead and take a large section of concrete. And I'm just going to place this. So this is in Robo Network range. I'm going to place this here. It will take a minute. We do have concrete. I think this is concrete. We should have concrete in the network. Refined concrete. Yeah, it may take a minute for the bots to get here. But I want to demonstrate for you the vast difference with the bots actually being able to batch place this now. So like I said, it'll take a minute for them to grab the concrete. Okay, so here they come. So, and they have to charge. This isn't a huge area, but you will probably notice a difference in the way and speed in which they do this compared to how it used to be. It's just really nice because the main difference here is the bots can now carry, so you can see that bot just placed like 3 at once. The construction bots can now actually take advantage decently of the cargo size when placing tiles. So you can see, I mean, that was pretty quick. A lot of it's just the travel time, honestly. But the bots can actually take advantage of cargo size when placing tiles. Again, to reiterate, this is not for like any other entity. It's for tiles like concrete, brick and stuff, and landfill, I believe. This doesn't work for like blueprints of like builds or even belts because it was really complicated. It would be too complicated and too game performance intensive to do that currently. But for tiles like this, the bots can take advantage of cargo size and place, hold and then place multiple items in one go, which just massively increases the speed and efficiency in which you can do this. So like if you just place like a huge square thing, it'll just be placed very, very quickly. And I believe that's gonna do it. Yeah, I really just like these icons. Like, it says turret, shows the little turret thing there. Stuff. I think it's just really neat. This new GUI tooltip. I think tooltip stuff. I think it looks much better for sure. But I think that's gonna do it, guys. I just wanted to kind of go over this with you in case you weren't aware that this came out. It wasn't like massively announced that it was coming out in this specific update. Aside from in the patch notes itself, they didn't like say, okay, this update it's coming out. So just letting you guys know, I hope you enjoy the new tooltips and the concrete tile placement and stuff. I'm really enjoying it. The new tooltips will get a little bit, take some time to get used to, but overall, I really like them. Again, I think, like I said, my only complaint, like you can really see here how it just shows, like, I don't know, the items, like, they're obviously separated, but there's no, like, padding or whatever. I mean, there's padding. I don't know what the word is, there's like, it's like not a defined cell with like outlines, I guess per item would be the right word, like outlines, which makes it a little weird for me to look at initially, but maybe it just takes some getting used to. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or thoughts, leave them below. If there was some stuff I missed or something, let me know. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.